Hello and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute as usual. I'm very inconsistent here, but I made a couple of moving vlogs and I mentioned in them I moved from New Jersey to Tennessee and back to New Jersey, and I was like, if you would like to hear my experience on living in Tennessee, if it's maybe someplace that you're considering or like why I moved back to New Jersey, let a girl know and I'd film a video on it, and here we are. So I'm just gonna like kind of get right into it. I'm not really going to go into detail of like, I guess like the whole story of me moving to Tennessee. Just basically, I mean, if you want me to do like a video going into a little bit more detail, the short story is pretty much that my husband got a job offer. I never like went away to college. I'm from New Jersey, grew up here, and I wanted to just experience something different. Him and I don't have kids. I felt like it was the perfect opportunity to try something else because I always knew in the back of my mind, if I didn't like it, I could always come back home. And surprise, surprise, she did not enjoy it. So pretty much where my husband and I moved in Tennessee, it was like the Nashville area. It was basically Nashville, but like I would say like 10 minutes from downtown. Him and I moved there in like 2021, and pretty much like we owned a house in New Jersey. And one of the other reasons I was just kind of like, we're never gonna make, that's when like the housing market was like at an all-time high. And I was like, we're never gonna make this type of money on this house ever again. And I knew we did not want to, even in like New Jersey, did not want to stay in that particular area. So I was kind of like fine with selling. So we wound up moving there. He went down first, and then I went down a few months after just because I had like some work that I had to finish up in Jersey. So we moved out there and we were in an apartment for a little bit. And I just like, I kind of like knew in my gut when I told him that like, yeah, let's move out here. I kind of knew in my gut like I wasn't going to like it, but I really, really wanted to give it a chance. And I did, and I did not enjoy it. You have to kind of look at it like specifically, I'm gonna just speak on like where I lived in Tennessee. You have to really kind of look at it, I guess, as like how your lifestyle would be, because obviously like going and visiting somewhere is totally different than living there. Even when we visited, I wasn't crazy about it, but my husband seemed to really enjoy it, so I was like, whatever, like I'm sure I could like learn to like it, you know, as long as it has things that I need to do, like if I want to go to the gym, if I want to go here, like I'm pretty content for the most part, or so I thought. I felt like I could just like live anywhere, but that really wasn't the case. Pretty much like I hated Nashville. Like I truly don't think, unless like I went to go visit like my friends that still live there, like I don't think I would ever really go back. I just don't like the city itself. Like the city itself is really tiny. I think it's a little overpriced. To be quite honest, like the restaurants are like, for the most part of ones that I've tried, like are mediocre as best. That's just how I feel about Nashville itself. The traffic is literally fucking terrible. So that's something to keep in mind. Like if you're thinking about moving to Nashville, like the traffic is literally horrendous. Back roads, highways, it's just so many people are moving there. They just can't keep up with the infrastructure, like you know what I mean? They can't keep up with building for the amount of people that are moving there for like the roads. And there's really like no public transportation. I've seen like a couple buses here and there, but you know, there's no trains. Like at least like in Jersey, like there's trains, like you can take them to like Boston, Philadelphia, you know, New York. You could take trains like everywhere pretty much here. So that's something like that was just horrendous, like the amount of traffic. And a lot of those roads, like for back roads and stuff, there was like one way in and one way out. So where we lived in Nashville, like it was kind of off of like a main road. And I remember one time there was an accident on that road, and for us to get back to our apartment, that should have only taken less like 2 minutes from where we were, maybe not 2 minutes, maybe like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes, it took us an hour. And I was like, this is shit. Also, like Jersey's pretty flat, so if you're someone who lives in an area that's like pretty flat and you go to like a really hilly place, it's a little shocking. Like the roads also like just like they're not very well like kept. Like there was potholes fucking constantly everywhere. I didn't see a lot of guardrails. Like I saw a lot of cars and ditches. People leave their cars on like the side of the highways, which is like wild to me, but I guess, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I didn't really like living in Nashville at all. And then we stupidly bought a house an hour further, like an hour south of Nashville, pretty much. It's a town called Chapel Hill. It's really small, like really, really small. There's a grocery store, $3 Generals, a Sonic, a very small gym. It was really like, it was a beautiful area. Like, don't get me wrong, like the cows, like the scenery, like it was gorgeous, but you have to be into that lifestyle. Like, I thought I could be into that lifestyle, but the reality is like I'm not. Like, I just have to look at the person that I am, and I'm just like, I'm not into country life as far as like I am go go go. I think it's an East Coast thing. I truly think it's like a New Jersey thing, like New Jersey, New York type situation, like just go 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 go. Like, I can't relax. Like, I like to do things. I like to be able to get into my car, get to a place in a few minutes, go to the next stop, and I couldn't do that there. I couldn't even do that in Nashville. Like, Tennessee is such a bigger state compared to New Jersey, and I think I had to leave New Jersey and go there to kind of like realize that New Jersey is like, it has farmland, it has beaches, it has everything that I could ever want. And it's also developed enough where I can get to where I need to be, go to stores and everything. Tennessee is not like that, which I do appreciate the beauty, and I do appreciate, like, you know, the slow pace and all of that stuff, but it's just something I can't do. Because even in the towns that were more developed, so like the town that we lived in was Chapel Hill, and again, like, was not developed. We lived near a town called Murfreesboro, which I met a few people and I still stay in contact with them, which is like way more developed. They have like a lot more stuff going on. However, again, the traffic situation is fucking terrible. Like, I would go see my friends sometime, and like the Murfreesboro was 40 minutes away. So I would be driving to Murfreesboro and I would just be like backed up. Like, when, like, I was working remotely when I lived in Tennessee. So sometimes, like, you know, I wouldn't leave the house at all. And I'd be like, oh, like, let me go to like a salad place and get like a salad, like for dinner. Like, if my husband wasn't coming home, like if he had like bowling or whatever. And it was just terrible. Like, I would just sit in traffic, and that's coming from, like, if you've ever been to New Jersey, like especially like, you know, northern Jersey, there gets a lot of traffic, you know, going into New York, coming out of New York. There gets a lot of traffic in the summer and everything, but like their Tennessee traffic was shit. The drivers were shit. It just like was not it for me. That was, you know, like obviously traffic, all that stuff. Again, like us living in a town that's a little bit underdeveloped, you know, that was kind of like on us, in the sense of, you know, if I needed to go to Target, like I had to drive 40 minutes away. If the grocery store in our town didn't have something that I wanted, I had to drive like 45 minutes away. You know, it's just like stuff like that. But again, that's all kind of like on us. I just like, it's just, again, a personal preference. On paper, it really looked ideal because my husband and I don't have kids. We're not having kids. So taking into consideration that the fact that there is no state income tax, low property tax, and they are ranked really low in education. Like, we didn't really care about the education thing. That's not something that we had to think about. Where in New Jersey, property taxes are really high. There is state income tax, and also, but like, you know, for us, like, even though New Jersey, I think it's like ranked like either in the top 3 or top 6 in public education, we didn't really care about that because we're not having kids. So I was like, oh, well, like, that doesn't matter. We can go to a state that, you know, has shitty education. Like, that's not gonna fucking bother us. One thing that I also just like felt there was, I almost felt like I kind of like went back in time a little bit. I don't know if it's because it is slower pace or what, but I don't know. I had this like weird feeling just living there. Like, I just felt that I was like projected back in time a little bit. I don't know really how to explain it, in the sense of, maybe it's just because it's slower pace. I don't know, but I don't know. Like, I just like felt like weird. The people were generally nice. There were so many people that obviously were like transplants, you know, from like California, a lot from Texas, a lot from Florida. There was some from New York and New Jersey, and I think a lot of it is like, every single person that I met from California fucking loved it there. A lot of my husband's coworkers from California, they raved about it. A lot of people I met from the East Coast, actually, I met a girl that was from like New Hampshire. She hated it. she's like, I only live here because my boyfriend lives here. And I met a few people that were from New York, and they were like, like it's nice. Like if they were from like upstate New York, they enjoyed it. But if they were from like Staten Island, whatever, they were like not into it. But like again, it's a totally different, you're going to a totally different place. I will say, like, if it's some place that you are thinking about moving, just, like do your research. If you are into a slower paced life, you might like it. There are obviously some pros. There is way less pollution there than there is in New Jersey. It is cheaper as far as like, no state income tax, like lower property taxes, I guess depending on where you're coming from. But like it just wasn't for me. I think it's just like a personal preference thing. It's not that I'm gonna shit on the state. It just, I truly think that it took me moving out of New Jersey to realize how much I like New Jersey. New Jersey is not everybody's cup of tea either. It really depends on the person. It really depends on the lifestyle that you want. Tennessee it just wasn't for me. Like it's too slow pace. I like to be go, go, go. I like to have things conveniently close to me. I don't want to sit in traffic for fucking hours. And I want the potholes filled. And regardless of what people say, the roads in Jersey are kept pretty damn good. Unless you're in like the northern Jersey area, closer to like the Oranges and like Newark and stuff. Like those potholes are shit. It's so personal preference as far as like what you enjoy, and I wasn't into it. One of my friends that I actually met there is from Chicago, and she was like, I think you would really like Chicago, and I probably would. And I think if I were to like move somewhere else, I think it would have to be more of like a walkable city, or just like a city in general that like, maybe something like Boston. Like I probably would really like Massachusetts, but to be honest, I am a Jersey girl through and through. I thought about New Jersey every single day when I lived there, and I cried every day when I lived there. And now that I'm back, I am content, I am happy, I am thriving. And yeah, that's basically it. I definitely rambled, so I am sorry, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have specific questions, just let me know. But yeah, that's basically it. It's just personal preference. I just did not enjoy it, and I am a Jersey girl. Thank you for watching.